Okay, what are the three things that all foreigners, anybody from anywhere else in the world who's looking to buy a property in Dubai must absolutely do? Okay, welcome back. So what are the three things that every single buyer, in fact, I call it three things that every foreigner who's looking to purchase a property in Dubai, but this rule generally could be applied to anybody who's looking to purchase a property in Dubai. And really, I say three things, really, it actually is one thing that if you get this one thing right, you're going to go steady and make a good decision and ultimately a good investment. There is another video that I'm going to do, top 10 things that every foreigner should be looking at. But let's talk about the three things, and from that, the one most important thing, and the first thing that is choosing the right agent, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backdrop on this situation, okay? So you as a real estate investor or a first-time real estate investor should understand exactly how you go about selecting the right agent. And before you go about selecting the right agent, you should ideally understand the agent's role. Now, if you understand the agent's role, the agent becomes an ally instead of an adversary. What a lot of real estate investors think agents are adversaries and they need to navigate the jungle of crooked agents. That's not the case. If you get a better understanding on agents, you're going to be able to make a better alliance with them and, hey, work together in sync to get a better deal for yourself. Okay, now you guys have to understand there are in the Dubai market and generally the world over as well, three types of agents. Okay, there are the seller agents. I hope you can see this. Okay, what's a seller's agent? Okay, here's what a seller's agent looks like, and here's what a seller's agent does. A seller's agent essentially represents, you got it, a seller of a property. Okay, the seller either knows the agent or has appointed him by interviewing him and is either paying him a fee or not a fee, and sometimes it's exclusive and sometimes it's non-exclusive, but essentially that particular agent is contracted, you could say in a loose way, to sell that seller's property. We call them a seller's agent or a seller specialist, you can say. You know, generally speaking, when you go through Property Finder or any of the listing portals like Bayut or Dubizzle or Houza, one of the newer ones, and you call an agent who's listed a property, generally speaking, he might be a seller's agent who's representing a seller. The seller's agent generally exists in the resale market where a property is ready. The other kind of agent, which also exists in the market, is a buyer specialist. Okay, a buyer specialist might not represent one individual seller. Instead, what he's going to represent is a buyer who's looking to acquire the property. Truth be told, there are not a lot of buyer specialists in the Dubai market. People have tried it. It's just more lucrative for most agents to be a seller specialist because, you know, once you've got the property, essentially you don't have to do that much more work. Buyers are just going to flock to you, and, you know, 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 30 buyers going to purchase the property, and then an agent just moves on to finding another seller, either anywhere in Dubai or in their particular area to sell, right? Last but not the least, there is somebody, we call them a developer's agent. Okay, let's just assume they're developer employees. Okay, in Dubai, we're still a nascent young market. We're reaching or going towards maturity. We have tons and tons of off-plan sales happening. Off-plan is essentially sales of properties which are under construction. Okay, now every developer, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all kinds of developers have agents employed as sales staff. So whereas this agent The seller's agent can sell any property in Dubai. A buyer's agent can help you purchase a property anywhere in Dubai. The developer's agent is pretty much strictly concentrated on selling the developer's stock. Now, obviously, generally speaking, they're the most aggressive because they are only tasked with selling the developer's stock. They're, in terms of aggression, are going to come at number 2. And depending on the experience of the buyer's agent, he's going to come in number 3 in terms of aggression and pushing you to close the deal. Because once he's engaged with you, if he's the buyer specialist, he doesn't really need you to purchase one particular property. He essentially needs you to purchase the right property, which is right for you. Now, I said, if you get this part right, you're going to get a smooth journey in the Dubai real estate market. Why did I say this? Essentially speaking, a lot of people go straight to developers and then they feel pressurized. You got to understand, the agent is on a salary and his job is to make the sale, and he's going to try to sell you today because he is afraid. While you might have the fear of missing out on an opportunity, he has the fear of missing out on you as an opportunity, because tomorrow you might walk into another developer and maybe that agent's sales skills are better and he's going to sell you on it, right? Most buyers go straight to the developer's agent and they get a little bit of a shock. They're like, okay, this is a little too pushy for my comfort, right? Same thing happens when you approach a direct seller's agent. You go and look at their property, and the seller's agent might not be interested in showing you any other property except for selling you on that particular property. The buyer's agent, if you're looking to come into the market, the buyer's agent is where the value is or at for you, as long as you play by a few general principles or general rules. You interview several of the buyer's agents, okay? Now, generally speaking, one of the core rules would be that any agent who's more interested in selling you the property instead of understanding your needs and your requirements, stay away from them, right? Any agents who's only interested in knowing how many bedrooms you want and what's your budget, kind of like difficult, stay away from that. An agent who's going to sit down with you, meet you face to face, or with the current weird pandemic situation, at least do a Zoom call and go through a list of requirements that you and your spouse or you and your family are going to have to meet with the perfect investment or a home property, is the kind of agent you want to work with, because you know that he's going to actually look out for what you're looking for instead of trying to sell you properties that don't really meet your blueprint, okay? I think I'm going to do another video on how to select the right buyer's agent and what are the questions you should be asking. I think a lot of people, not just the Dubai market, but the world over, real estate investors have a little bit of a difficult period or a difficult time because they themselves are not organized. Hate to say this, guys, but it's the reality. Real estate buyers themselves don't move across the investment process in an organized fashion. I'm giving you a great tip here. If you want to move across in an organized fashion, find yourself a buyer's agent and then appoint him. Choose one buyer's agent to deal with all your queries. So that buyer's agent would deal with the developer. That buyer's agent would deal with the other agents who represent other sellers. So obviously, if you've chosen the right one with the right expertise and trust him and he trusts you, there's no harm in fully engaging and working through the beautiful real estate landscape in Dubai. Once this is taken care of, then you move off onto sourcing properties. Now, this is not my procedure, but just in the interest of keeping the video short, I do a fact-finding or a discovery session here, come up with the strategy, identify the strategy, then move on to eliminating and sourcing properties. It's a longer process, but just for the sake of keeping this video a little short and passing on the more important points to you, that's when you go into sourcing properties that meet the criteria that you have established with your agent over here. One of the things that I would highly recommend is you visit the properties yourself, okay? This is the third point. Now, I'm gonna do another video with 10 points, but this is just 3 points that I want to share because a lot of real estate investors are coming off the back a little frustrated with the process. Look, follow the process, be organized yourself, move into the market in an organized way, and everybody is going to help you. Make them your allies, source the properties right, and then actually visit Dubai. You know, if you're an international investor and you can't really visit Dubai, that's fine. It's understandable with this weird pandemic situation. But hey, a 3 or 4 day trip is not going to cost you that much compared to the amount of money you're going to be spending on the property, right? Why do I say this? Now, me as an agent would love to just sell you the property quickly on the phone, you know, close the deal and just send you the paperwork and you could just come and move into your great property. Yeah, that can happen. That's great. But sometimes when you visit and your agent has sourced and you both have looked at several properties and you've come down to 2 or 3 major ones, you know, coming and visiting and feeling the place is always going to be helpful. I think it'll give you the ambience, the aura, the location, the locale, the kind of people who live there. Do you see yourselves living over here? And you know, it doesn't mean that the deal's going to break away if you don't like the first property. Maybe your agent has selected 2 or 3 in the final round and you might like number 3, and that's fine. You're happy, agent's happy, and you make a successful transaction in the Dubai real estate market. Ciao for now.
Okay guys, so thanks for watching. My name again is Fahd Dawood. I've been doing this for 14 plus years. I started in 2006 in Toronto, Canada, and since 2007 I've been doing this in Dubai. I generally talk about real estate, your life, my life, and our path to allowing financial bliss coming to us. If you want to work with me, such as buy a property in Dubai, or you need general advice, you can hit me up on in the contact form below. If you've liked this video, I'd appreciate if you subscribe, press the bell icon, and hit the like button and share it with other friends. Ciao for now.